Hey, everybody. I think we're running out of patience. I don't know about you, but it's a pretty trying time for all of us. Patience is really hard to come by lately. Our nerves are stretched to the limit. We are ever so tired of COVID. We're even tired of hearing about COVID fatigue. We are so fatigued. And the holidays are a source of confusion for all of us as we try to figure out how to best deal with that. And caregivers who I predominantly help in my coaching business are stretched to the max beyond belief. We all are lacking patience right now. But before we can begin to cultivate patience, which we've always been told patience is a virtue, just get with it. No, we need to unpack the opposite for a minute and talk about what impatience really is. Impatience is the desire to have a situation be different than it really is. It's when we have a thought or a belief that is the opposite of what's really happening. A story that we've made up about what should be different. Some of us are so overwhelmed with impatience that we actually have gotten to the point that we feel as though life has dealt us a bad hand, an unfair deck of cards. And maybe life should be different, but right now it's not. And that sense of huge impatience is something that can really take us down. So let's break it down, really break it down. When you're irritable, you're impatient. And then chances are when you're irritable and you're impatient, and especially when you're a caregiver and you're irritable with the one you love, then you end up turning against yourself. And this is when that thought grows into a mountain that life is not fair, it's not what I wanted it to be, it's not the story that I had in mind, and we truly have a desire to have life itself be different. So let's pick a thought as an example. Let's say that you come in, this happens to me, so it's an easy example. You get ready to make dinner at the end of the day, and the kitchen sink is filled with dirty dishes, and it's like, I have to clean up the sink before I can make dinner. Now, why are these dirty dishes here? Who didn't clean these up? Why aren't they cleaned up? Why didn't my loved one take care of this? Or why didn't I deal with this at lunchtime? What is going on with me? What is going on with anybody? So, all right, can we do this? Because that's just a thought, all of that. That's a story running through our head. What if I looked at it differently? The dishes are just simply in the sink. Can I accept that without making up a story about it? Can I just accept that there are dishes in the sink and that I simply, get out the soap and hot water and clean up the sink of dishes? Another thing that happens with care partners so often is they really get confused about their loved ones, and they want their loved ones to take a little more responsibility for a task. Why can't you be helping me a little bit more than you are today? Why can't you do this or that? Because you might have done it yesterday and you might do it tomorrow. Why can't you do it right now? We get very confused about this. But what if we were to accept the idea that just in this moment, for whatever reason, they can't? They're just simply unable. Can you accept that? Can you make room for a new story when you run up against something like this, something that's irritable or confusing? A story that is one that includes something that is like, this just is. So start as a practice with the very tiny things that annoy you. If you're like me, it's not going to be hard. How do you want them to be different? Take a breath and just pause when you feel yourself being impatient. And then take another look. See if you can accept the situation just as it is in this moment. Right now, there are just dirty dishes. That's all. That's the story. Right now, my loved one can't do something that I'd hope they could. That's the story. So, cultivating patience is a lifelong practice. It's really hard to accept every little thing just as it is. Be sure to take it in the tiniest of steps. And as I alluded to a minute ago, learning patience has a lot to do with forgiveness. Forgiving not only others, but ourselves. Learning how to be okay with exactly what is learning how to be caring and compassionate for ourselves. This really is self-care. So again, when you feel impatient, can you pause? Can you take a moment to ask, what is the reality right now? Can I accept it for exactly what it is? Not how it was yesterday or not how it might be tomorrow, but just right now. And when we can change our tiniest stories, we will begin to feel a sense of patience seeping naturally into our lives. It's happened for me. It can happen for you. It gets easier. This is what creates a sense of peace in our life and freedom, and it allows us a way to feel joy. If you can practice this, you will begin to no longer feel like you've been dealt something that you had no palate for, something that just is, that life is just as it is, and you won't feel as though you can't take one more day of COVID. So just start with today. Just today only, just this moment. Slow down and be kind to yourself. As always, I love to hear your comments, and I hope this was helpful to you. And if I can help you in any way untangle your stories or whatever else is going on in your life, I'm happy to help do that. I am here, and I wish you peace and care today. Thanks.